What is climate change and how do it affect us? There is a great lack of knowledge about what climate change really is, either due to excessive information, inaccuracy in the sources, or due to missing information, which give rise to a series of false myths about climate change. And in this video blog, we will address from an objective and scientific point of view what climate change is, what are its causes, its consequence, and how it can be combated. In short, how climate change affects us.
Hello, so today the presentation that we'll be talking about is about global warming. So the thing is that we are going through a crisis, a climate crisis, what I would prefer to be actually saying, because of the reason that us humans are damaging the earth day by day. And this is something that we have to fix immediately for us to actually have a better life and to actually have an ecosystem and have water and fruits and vegetables that are healthy for our bodies for future generations. Because if we don't fix it now, there will be nothing that will be fixed for the future. Now, I was looking through an article and it mentioned that in Antarctica, since the ice is melting, and they were actually going to see what is this cause. And since there's an island that is only trash, the thing is that since there's cans and there's bottles and there's also bottles that are plastic and also that are glass. With that evaporation, all that evaporation, that heatness, all of that goes through miles and miles and miles. And that is one of the causes that our Antarctica is melting. Those are one of the causes. There's also much more, but that's something that's actually like the main idea. We also need to start recycling. I think it's very important that we need to recycle and reuse things. For example, clothes, bottles of plastic and glass, and also cans. We really need to find different ways to actually start recycling because this is getting really out of hand. Not also that we are having this climate crisis, that's why we are suffering this climate that is so hot. For example, here in Merida, I've also investigated that back then it wasn't so hot because there was a lot of trees. It was practically a forest, Merida, and with smaller buildings. Now that Merida is growing bigger each day, there's a lot of foreign people, so they had to make more buildings, they had to make more houses, and it is getting hot. So we really need to find different ways to actually fix this because this is getting really out of hand. Now, what would we actually recommend from our fellow classmates and from our teachers and from our school? We actually communicated, me and my fellow classmates, that it's actually, my teammates, that it's actually a really good idea that we're actually recycling. And I think that's a really good idea that we're doing it at school, but I think we also need to do it at home. Why? Because like I just said, because of the plastics and the glass that's evaporating, and that's one of the reasons why the climate is still getting hot. Not only are we also going through climate changes, we are also experiencing that since the ground, like for farmers and things like that, is so contaminated, and since we're eating all this contamination, it's going bad in our bodies, and at the end of the day, we're getting sick right now or even in the future. So we need to find different methods for us to live a healthy and better life, and for also to have this earth for future generations so that we could all live a peaceful and healthy life.
Activities that can help reduce climate change can be energy saving your home, walking instead of using a car, riding a bike, or using public transport, eating more vegetable and less meat, consume less reduce, repair, and recyclers because electronics, clothing, and other items we can buy generate carbon emissions. So every action makes a difference.
Our ecological footprint. The ecological footprint is estimated of the rate of use on natural resources based on the age life. What will the Earth be in 100 years? The temperatures are rising. The glacier poles are melting. Millions of the animals species are disappearing. Natural resources are running out due to the uncontrolled human consumption. In the BBC documentary entitled Future Air, he analyzed all this climatic situation, and we can see a very realistic reproduction of how the rise of the sea level can flow entire sites, how gravitationally change can generate hurricane winds, destroying everything in its path of how the increase in the solar luminosity can affect the chemical products with which are in the contact.